Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. And today, guys, we have to open with many news. We have many things to share with you, many updates, many situations to explain. And so we jump into it together and we start with a big bomba, with a big news over the night in Europe and also here in the US now, because Karim Adeyemi could become a new Barcelona player in a surprising bomba, a surprising deal out of nowhere very soon. A story revealed last night by Gigantes, Gerard Romero, and we can confirm with all the details of the story because Barcelona are going all in for Karim Adeyemi. First of all, let me mention one thing, another surprise for Barca. Barca have been known in the industry for a long time as one of the clubs where the main informations were always leaking, but in this case, with this new direction for the club, Barcelona are working many times in silence on several deals. It happened with Anthony Gordon, negotiated and closed in the space of 24 hours without so many leaks in the press. And now Karim Adeyemi to Barcelona could be a here we go very soon, maybe in the next videos, but Karim Adeyemi is really close to becoming a new Barcelona player. Let me explain the situation. First of all, Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick knows Karim Adeyemi very well, and Hansi Flick has approved the signing of Karim Adeyemi when was discussed with Deco, with the president Laporta, and all people at the club. So green light from Hansi Flick, who knows the player so well, was with him in the German national team. And they see a potential in Karim Adeyemi at Barcelona. 24 years old, he's been on scene for a long time, and that's maybe why the feeling around the player is like he's no longer that young, because it's been many years that we keep hearing about Adeyemi, his talent, but still to be developed to the next level. And now, Karim Adeyemi deal is something that Barcelona want to do because they see a potential in the player in terms of skills, in terms of qualities, but also a financial potential, because don't forget that Karim Adeyemi has only 1 year left on his contract at Borussia Dortmund, expiring in summer 2027. Well, I can tell you one thing. Karim Adeyemi and Barcelona have reached an agreement. The contract is done. Sealed, 5-year contract, all done between Karim Adeyemi and Barcelona. So they shake hands and Karim Adeyemi wants to go to Barcelona. It's a clear decision from the player. So Karim Adeyemi made clear that his dream is to go to Barca and he's not negotiating with any other club. So it's been very clear with Borussia Dortmund. Barcelona or nothing. And nothing could mean for Borussia Dortmund to lose the player as a free agent in summer 2027. Why? Because Karim Adeyemi is out of contract in 1 year and is not planning to sign a new contract at Dortmund. So Dortmund face the serious risk of losing the player on a free transfer in 2027. At the same time, Barcelona have presented, as I told you last night on my channels, an official bid to Borussia Dortmund. So Barcelona sent an official proposal to Dortmund and want to close the deal now. They want Adeyemi now. So this is what Barca are trying to do. There is one man driving this process, and this is Jorge Mendes, one of the most important agents in the world. Jorge Mendes is pushing for this deal to happen. He's the agent of Adeyemi, and so the agreement between Mendes, Barcelona, and Adeyemi is done. There is an official bid on the table. Negotiations Barcelona-Borussia Dortmund to close this deal. Let me clarify one thing, and that's an important thing on Karim Adeyemi. Barcelona will not spend crazy money on this one. So Barcelona made an official bid to Borussia Dortmund. Now it's on board Borussia Dortmund to decide, but Barcelona will not keep negotiating and improving the bid for a long time. Or Borussia Dortmund accept their proposal, or Barcelona know that the player eventually is out of contract in 2027. So that's the status of the story. Now depends on the clubs, but Adeyemi made clear that his dream and his clear direction is to go, and his desire is to go to Barcelona. So this could be the big surprise. Stay tuned. Let me clarify one thing. Adeyemi deal is not linked at all with Julian Alvarez deal. So it's not Adeyemi is joining because Julian is off. Barcelona still want to sign a center striker. So Adeyemi is coming to Barcelona, but at the same time, if the deal happens, doesn't mean that Julian Alvarez is no longer a target, that Barcelona will not sign a center striker. Barcelona still want to sign a top striker this summer. Then, to tell you more, guys, just to return just quickly as we were talking about Spain on Real Madrid, remember my video from 3 hours ago? I told you Tchouaméni already signed his new contract at Real Madrid, and don't forget also what I told you about Fede Valverde in the same video. Jose Mourinho wanted both of them to stay, Tchouaméni and Valverde. They had problem last season, no issues, says Jose Mourinho, from what I understand. Mourinho wants leader. Mourinho wants players who are ready to fight. Mourinho wants players who are ready to give everything for Real Madrid. So they clarify everything, Tchouaméni and Valverde. Mourinho wants to restart from Tchouaméni, signing a new contract, 2031, but also with Fede Valverde. So both of them are expected to stay and are crucial part of the project of Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid. So absolutely important point to mention. Then, guys, just quickly, in recent videos you can find everything, but I wanted to put some touches on this too. André Santos to Manchester United is done, and today is time for the medical. The player is traveling for medical test and contract signing, so today in Manchester United close André Santos deal. Also, second medical check for Ederson will be this week, and so this week, probably from now to the weekend, we will understand any moment if Man United will proceed with the Ederson deal with Atalanta or not. So we wait for the second medical for Ederson, and then don't forget Bruno Guimaraes. A big topic for the next days and weeks is going to be on Bruno Guimaraes, because Bruno Guimaraes wants to go to Arsenal. Bruno Guimaraes will not create problems to Newcastle, so Bruno will not break the relationship with Newcastle as a club, as directors, as coach Eddie Howe, with the fans, not at all. But Bruno wants to go to Arsenal. He made that clear. Now Arsenal and Newcastle are in contact to try understand which kind of number can help reach an agreement. Newcastle didn't want to sell Bruno, but the player wants to go, and so there could be a solution. Again, my understanding is the following: £55 million opening bid rejected, £65 million second bid suggested by the agents of the player was still not enough, so not a bid in paper, the second, but just suggested, not enough. Now the understanding is that Newcastle could open doors around £90 million, so this could be the number, but Arsenal are not bidding £90 million now. So the negotiation is going to be between £65 million and £90 million. What Arsenal were prepared to spend to what Newcastle want to receive for Bruno. So the negotiation will now enter crucial stages. I expect Arsenal to bid very soon again for Bruno Guimaraes. He's the top target. He's the player wanted by Mikel Arteta in midfield. He's a player who's been historically linked with Arsenal because Arteta is a big fan of the boy and considers Bruno as the perfect player for Arsenal midfield. So big bombas are coming, guys, as you can see. Adeyemi, André Santos, Bruno Guimaraes, Fede Valverde, Aurelien Tchouaméni, so many big names, so many big stories, also regarding Julian Alvarez. And so, guys, let me know your opinion, as always, here in the comments. Adeyemi to Barca, what do you think? Julian Alvarez, but also André Santos. And also, let me mention the last news I got on my phone, was also in the last video as a teaser, and it's Morten Hjulmand. Hjulmand will be a new Atletico Madrid player. After Alejandro Grimaldo and Kang-in Lee, Hjulmand to Atletico Madrid is here we go. 40 million euros, 5 in advance to Sporting, player today in Madrid to sign his contract, and so Grimaldo, Kang-in Lee, and now Morten Hjulmand to Atletico Madrid. Let me know your dates. We have to tell you more while we wait for the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. It's going to be special. We start with France facing Morocco, but the market is no stop. And so we have plenty of things to say, and we jump into it together. And we start with the done deals, because it's been a busy day on several fronts. Things are happening around Europe and also around goalkeepers. Yesterday I told you about Arsenal signing Meslier as new backup goalkeeper. Let's see if Kepa is gonna stay or if he's gonna arrive as a third goalkeeper at Arsenal, but the deal is done. Meslier already did his medical at Arsenal. today Manchester United close another deal. And Manchester United closed the deal for their new backup goalkeeper because Altay Bajindir is expected to leave the club. Andre Onana already left to go to Trabzonspor, loan deal without any buy option, but Man United to reach eventually around £1.5 million in bonuses. And now Karl Darlow, the goalkeeper from Wales, former Leeds United goalkeeper, available on a free, is moving to Manchester United. And it's a here we go. So new face at Man United. He's going to provide competition to Senne Lammens, who is obviously the clear starting goalkeeper for Michael Carrick. But Karl Darlow has accepted all contract terms. He will be the new second goalkeeper at Man United. He was already in contact with United today to sort the contract details. Tomorrow will be the time to sign the contract, complete the move, and so Karl Darlow at Manchester United is a here we go. Meanwhile, don't forget André Santos, who did his medical today, first part at Manchester United. We just wait for an official announcement, for club statement, but Man United have signed their new midfielder, and is André Santos, and Man United have signed the new backup goalkeeper with Karl Darlow. On Manchester United and Ederson, guys, I can tell you more. Ederson already completed the first part of the extra medical. There will be a second part, and then any moment from now on, because these days everything will be sorted. I told you this week we expect to have a final confirmation on the deal. This week Manchester United will provide a verdict on the Ederson deal. At the moment the deal is on hold because the deal is verbally agreed United Atalanta, verbally agreed United Ederson. First part of medical done in the US. United wanted to check more. Extra checks are taking place in England. And then Man United will communicate to Atalanta and to the agent of the player, can be any moment, whether they proceed with Ederson or if the deal is off. So let's wait for the verdict on Ederson. Then, more to mention, guys, also on a former Manchester United player. It was my story already a few days ago, but let me confirm. Alejandro Garnacho has serious chances to leave Chelsea in the summer transfer window. It's a similar situation to André Santos, I would say. Chelsea are not actively trying to sell the player, so he's not out of the project at this stage. But the understanding is that in case of good proposal on permanent deal, so as of today, Chelsea position is permanent deal or nothing, but Chelsea are starting to open doors to potential exit for Alejandro Garnacho. Then we have to understand if there is going to be a possibility for permanent proposals, if some club will arrive with this kind of solution, or if some club will arrive with maybe a loan with option to buy, obligation. At the moment, Chelsea position is clear. Garnacho can only leave on a permanent deal. So let's see, let's wait what happens. The Garnacho situation is starting to move. So I expect things to happen around Alejandro Garnacho after just 1 year since he signed for Chelsea from Manchester United. He could be on the move again. So let's follow the Garnacho situation with movements already happening behind the scenes. Movements happening on scene for Newcastle United because obviously they already lost two important players, Anthony Gordon, Sandro Tonali. They signed new players as well, but the next one will be Manzambi, the midfielder from the Swiss national team. If you're following the World Cup, Manzambi is probably one of the best talents appearing at this World Cup, scoring goals, providing assists, doing very well. I told you a few days ago that Newcastle United were preparing an official bid to send to Freiburg. The bid was sent today, and there is an agreement in principle between Newcastle and Freiburg for the player. So everything is verbally agreed. Now, fixing the final details, payment terms, contract details, but everything is on the right way for this deal to happen. And so Manzambi, expected to be a Newcastle player, the here we go is a here we go soon, but is almost done, will be any moment. And so Newcastle will add an important talent to the squad like Manzambi. Then we have to follow the situation of Bruno Guimaraes. Many of you asking me, it's true that there is an agreement already in principle on personal terms between Bruno Guimaraes and Arsenal. Guys, I told you already in 2-3 videos, personal terms are never going to be a problem. Bruno Guimaraes doesn't go to Newcastle and say, let me go to Arsenal without having an agreement with Arsenal. So I don't think that's part of the story. It's absolutely obvious that Bruno Guimaraes would agree personal terms with Arsenal. The contract is not a problem, the salary is not a problem, the desire of the player is to live in London, the desire of the player is to work with Mikel Arteta, the desire of the player is to play Champions League football, the player wants to go to Arsenal because of the ambitions and the opportunity to win trophies. So when you have all this kind of desire, I don't think a deal is going to collapse because of the contract. So the contract is ready and it's never been in doubt. It depends on the clubs. It's on Newcastle now to decide whether to give the green light to the exit or not, and the conditions. Arsenal will try again. Arsenal will bid again. You can be sure that Arsenal will return to the table. So for sure, this story is going to continue in the next days. Then Newcastle have the ball in their court to decide whatever they want. They already raised good money this summer with Tonali, good money this summer with Anthony Gordon, so it's on them to decide. And then, guys, talking about clubs deciding, it's gonna be on Borussia Dortmund also to decide on Karim Adeyemi. Barca first offer, I told you last night in a video, for Karim Adeyemi is 20 million euros. It's not enough to convince Borussia Dortmund, they want more. But let me tell you one thing. Barcelona will not go and offer 40 million euros for a player who can be a free agent in January, can sign with any club for summer 2027. So Barcelona are not going to do that. Adeyemi told in a very clear way to Borussia Dortmund that he wants to go to Barcelona, that personal terms with Barcelona are agreed, and that he's not going to sign a new contract at Dortmund. That's a decision made by Adeyemi. So now it's on Dortmund. The negotiations will continue with Barcelona, but Barca will not spend crazy money. So there is a feeling this deal can still happen, but financially Barcelona will not offer 40 million euros, which is the price that Dortmund had in mind at the beginning of the market. Barcelona will not offer that. They are at 20, Dortmund want more. Let's see if Barcelona can be open to discussing, but for sure the player is being very clear, and Barcelona have the player on their side. And when you have the player on your side with 1 year left on a contract, you know, it's complicated to imagine that the player can still sign a new deal at the club. It's not going to happen. And it's also really complicated to imagine that Barcelona can spend more than 20, maybe 25 million euros on a player that they can eventually sign on a free in 6 months signing and then joining in summer 2027. So let's see what's going to happen, but for sure the desire of Adeyemi is clear, and my feeling is that this deal can happen. So negotiations are well underway for Adeyemi to Barcelona. And so, guys, on this and much more, let me know your opinion as every single day here in the comments. Remember, as always, to like this video, to turn on the notification bell, to subscribe to the channel, to let me know your opinion on absolutely everything from Man United to Bruno Guimaraes, Adeyemi, Manzambi, and all the rest. And see you soon here on the channel. Thank you. Ciao.